Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a great day. Today's video, as you guys can tell, we're going to be talking about speech and how I'm helping Emma with speech. She is learning a lot. As you guys know, my daughter was diagnosed, and maybe you don't know, maybe you're new to the channel. My daughter was diagnosed with ASD, autism spectrum disorder, and it was about a year ago. Before, she was completely non-verbal. All she knew how to do is sing her ABCs. Now she has a bunch of songs that she sings because she's really into music, and she has a lot of words in her vocabulary that she does say. However, she's still trying to form sentences. She knows a lot of words, and mostly through songs, but she does repeat a lot. She has a lot of echolalia, and she also does a lot of scripting. So I always get a lot of questions on how I get Emma to speak, or tips on how she says words or how she's starting to say words now. And I'm not an expert, guys. I'm just a mom with a child with autism. So I'm just going to share with you guys what I do on a normal basis and like activities that we do to try to help her with their speech. And I'm just going to share that with you guys. I don't have a list written down. I'm just going to verbalize what I know and what we do. So just in case you guys have children that also are on the spectrum and that are nonverbal at this moment, just the tips that I received and the stuff that I've been doing with her to help her to talk and communicate. She just recently is starting to verbalize what she wants and needs, and it takes a lot of listening to her what she needs, because sometimes she scripts when she's telling me what she wants. So that's a little bit different for us right now. We're trying to like listen what she's singing and scripting so I can understand what she wants throughout the day sometimes. But I just wanted to share with you guys like little activities that we do and how I try to communicate with her and know her needs and her wants. So the first thing that I wanted to go over with you guys is one thing that I've started doing for a very long time is I go over flashcards with her. So, sorry. Right now, I just have these new flashcards. They're 51st words. So we go over flashcards with her. We go over the words in the flashcards. She's pretty good at repeating now. Before, she wouldn't do that. But now she's starting to get the hang of repeating what I'm saying and is even recognizing it on her own. Comes and brings me the card and tells me what it is. So that's something that I work with her is with flashcards and with books. But you really have to know your child, whatever their interests are. Emma loves to learn. She loves ABCs. So it's super easy for me to incorporate the ABCs with words. So for instance, if I'm grabbing an apple, I go, A is for apple, apple. And I kind of do it like a song because she also loves music. And then she gets it. She understands it because A is for apple, and she's putting the letter together with the whole word. So that is literally how she learns, but you need to know your child and how your child learns. They might not be interested in ABCs, and you might be trying to force ABCs on them, and they don't really care for them. They might love numbers, or they might love dinosaurs or bears or cats, just animals, or electric stuff. I don't know, like whatever their interests are, use them to your advantage to teach them words. So whatever their interest is, use that for them to learn words. That's a tip that I would give you, is use whatever they're into to help them. Let's say that they just love like sensory play. Grab whatever sensory play that you play with them and then tell them the colors as you're going through like this sensory object, or whatever it is that they like. Try to use that into your advantage to teach them words. Also, another thing that I learned very early on is to keep things out of reach for them, or if you keep them in reach, like for me, for instance, I do keep things in her reach. However, I put them in Ziploc bags. So let's say she likes Cheerios, and I know she's going to be hungry and she's not going to verbalize that she's hungry. I put like Cheerios or Cheez-Its, whatever it is, in Ziploc bags, and I put them in her reach, but I know she's going to have to reach up to me so she can open it. So she comes up to me with her Cheerios, and then I look at her and I go, food, open, so I do that, open. And that way she knows, hey, if I'm hungry and I want this food, my mom needs to open, I need to say open. So I do things like that, and I open, and then I give her what she wants, and then I verbalize what it is, like goldfish, yummy, things like that. But I do it very excited, like, I don't know, because I know it catches her attention. But like I said, it really depends on your child, on what they like and how they like. Maybe they don't want exciting, like somebody so perky and happy. Maybe they like just normal, like, here, goldfish, whatever. It really depends on how your child learns and how your child interacts. I do a lot of like play with her also. So I do a lot of pretend play. So whenever we're home, I grab stuff and try to play with her. That way she makes eye contact and then she looks at my mouth. I usually try to point at my mouth when I'm telling her stuff. The only reason that I do that is because she likes a TV show of a girl that teaches words that does that all the time. So she'll do that and then do this, and then she'll say the word. Emma likes that. So I use that to my advantage, and I have her look at my mouth, and then I say the word, and she does that. But it really depends on each child. I'm giving you advice on what my daughter likes. All kids with ASD are different on the way that they learn. So just try to know what they're into. I also use like going to the park or going outside to verbalize what I'm doing. So let's say we're getting outside and I go open. Then I open the door and I go open. And then I go outside. That's a lot that I learned through ABA and speech therapy. So then I'll open and then we'll be outside. If we play with bubbles, if she wants more bubbles, I tell her more. And then I try to like grab something and while she's looking at me and say what it is and then blow bubbles or whatever. If we're going to the park, I go up the stairs. We're going up the stairs. Down the slide. We're going down the slide. So I just try to do a lot of that. And this is a very, very hard one, is the asking questions, because I still kind of do it sometimes. I ask her a question, but it's usually better when we say the item instead of ask the question. So like, let's say, Emma, do you see this? She's not going to really respond to that. I'd rather, instead of saying, Emma, do you see this, and asking in a form of a question, I go, Emma, I see the sky. And then I'll point to the sky. I see a bird, and then I'll point to the bird or whatever it is that I'm seeing. That way she'll do that. And with ABA therapy right now, what they're doing is they're using it's a dog instead of saying, where is the dog? They go, it's a dog. You know what I mean? So things like that. So they'll say, it's a cat. It's a... And then Emma says the animal instead of what is this? And then she won't say the animal. If they ask, what is this? And let's say it's a pig, she'll just stare at them like, what are you trying to say? And if they go, it's a, and then they show the pig, she goes, a pig, it's a pig. So she'll say it. So try to not use questions. Instead, just try to say like what it is or things like that. Like I said, I'm not an expert, guys. I'm just giving you guys stuff that I do with her. And then what I use for me to interact and to speak to her and for her to understand me. I also just use a lot of play. Like if we're playing, I use the colors like, the rainbow has this colors, and then I'll go over the colors with her. But like I said, Emma loves ABCs and she loves to write. Like she loves to sit down and write and color, and I use that to my advantage as I'm trying to help her to speak. Right now she's doing a lot of echolalia. So if I get a flashcard and I tell her, she'll repeat it. Sometimes it's not echolalia and she'll say it on her own. She'll bring me the card and say it. But she has been repeating a lot of what I say. Like just today when we were driving in the car, I'm like, a car, and she would go, a car. Driving, I'm driving. So she'll repeat, which is awesome. I've been doing a lot of research, and they say that if children use a lot of echolalia and a lot of scripting, it is how their form of communication, and it is how they learn. So it is very good if your child is doing echolalia and doing scripting to try to not discourage them from that, because before they used to discourage kids from doing echolalia or scripting, and it really did hinder the kids as they were trying to learn, because that was their form of communication. So that's definitely great. Sorry, the light keeps coming in and out, the sun, but if your child is doing that, definitely try to encourage that and not discourage it. Try to listen to what they're saying if they're scripting, because Emma has been communicating a lot through scripting with me. Like, she will say, good morning, time to brush your teeth, comb your hair, it's the morning, or whatever. But it's a script from a show that she's watching, but she knows that it's morning and it's time for her to brush her teeth, get ready for the day. So she is trying to communicate with me in that way. Also, when we go to the pool, she tries to do scripting of like a pool show, and she knows that she wants to go to the pool. So you have to like listen to their scripting that they're doing, or things like that, to understand what they're actually trying to tell you sometimes. So it is a little bit hard when they're doing scripting, and for us to know what they're actually trying to communicate, but it gets easier as you do it. And I'm sorry if this video was literally all over the place, but I'm just giving you my genuine information on what I do. It's a lot of play with her and just verbalizing and flashcards, watching shows with her music that has to do with life skills, and just things like that. That is what I do. Definitely leave a comment down below if you guys have any tips for our viewers of anything that you do with your child for communication. Like I said, all children with ASD are similar in a way, but very different in ways of learning as well. So they could all learn differently, but this is just what I do with my daughter. And I hope that these tips help you, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.